And Senator Boyhan, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Cathaoirleach. And first, I'd like to warmly welcome the Minister to the House. And I suppose I'm not going to repeat what the other 4 or 5 speakers have said, but I particularly welcome your emphasis on market diversification. And I think there are challenges in the agricultural sector. And I think, we can either look back and be extremely negative, or we can look forward and we can see the great opportunities that are out there. In any crisis and any challenge, there are opportunities, and we've got to get out there and we've got to find those opportunities. And I want to acknowledge the ministers, in terms of Foodwise 2025. And I know that you've been abroad and you talk about the potential in your presentation today of Asia and the African markets, and that your department will continue to seek out and identify new markets, and also that you've led the successful trade mission to US and to Canada, and that while in May, and you led a mission to China, and you were going to go on to Malaysia, and also your Minister for State is going to go to China. And that's what I call about seeking out new opportunities for agriculture, because that's what it's about. The challenge is, do we do or die? Do we get on with it and we do something? And I just think that's important to say. And I was at a breakfast meeting briefing this morning by Teagasc, and I want to firstly as well congratulate you on your appointment for Mr. Liam Hurley. He gave a very, very impressive account of himself this morning, and Professor Jerry Boyle, about the progress and the plans of Teagasc. And it's a wonderful, wonderful organisation. And sometimes we don't talk enough about it, and the wealth of knowledge and experience that they're involved with, and their mission, which is to develop, integrated research, advisory and training service. And I think that's really, really important. And when you look at it, unless we and farmers collectively are at the coalface of innovation, imagination, knowledge, science, research, we're not at the marketplace anymore. Things have moved on. Agriculture is a science. Yes, there's a place for every element of agriculture, and that's not to take away from small farmers, but we have to work in cooperation and support with each other. We have to embrace innovation. We have to embrace collectivity and connection with other people. It has moved on. It is a very progressive science, agriculture. And I think sometimes we fail to realise that, or some people fail to realise that. I also want to acknowledge the great work of Bord Bia. Bord Bia is a fantastic organisation, doing fantastic work out there to promote Irish food, Irish agriculture. And I think with Foodwise and the planned strategy for Bord Bia, I think there are great things happening. But we've also got to look at this thing about sustainability. And for far too long, we've overused the word and abused the word sustainability. That's no longer acceptable to say we're talking about sustainable farming. We've got to prove sustainability. We've got to convince the people in the markets out there that we are sustainable, because that's really, really important word in agriculture now, sustainability, of agriculture and our food. So I think that's important. And I think really, Minister, I'd just like to say that I think we can't commit enough money and enough resources to the likes of Teagasc, through training, through farm apprenticeships. I mean, there are different levels where people are coming into agriculture, but I think we need to promote and continue to promote knowledge-based information, research. I've been to Moore Park, I've been down to the Grange. These are wonderful places, and so few people know about the wonderful work there. And I think we've got to continue to assist farmers in terms of advice and education, because that's really important, and the role of Teagasc. So I think that's something I really want to stress here today. And I suppose I don't want to let this opportunity go, Minister, without just paying a tribute to Seymour Crawford. I've just come from the British Irish Parliamentary Assembly for a few days, and he was mentioned by all sides of the House. And there was a farmer and a politician who brought practicalities to his work, who was sensitive to the difficulties of farming, as we say, a border county man. And he brought, with his own tradition, he brought uniqueness to political life, but he was also very much involved in the IFA. And I suppose one thing we met, and when we talked to people from the farming community and people who represented the farming community in the last few days, it was this belief that we could somehow come together and market the great island of Ireland and the potential for agriculture and food on the island of Ireland. And I think that's one of the great challenges for Britain, the United Kingdom, for Ireland, for the Northern Ireland, for everyone. How can we come together to embrace the uniqueness of the island of Ireland in exploiting and marketing our produce? But look, Minister, I think there's a lot of positive things in agriculture. Somehow we don't always get them out there. But I'd like to particularly commend the organisation of Teagasc. I think it's a really, really good organisation, and I think we're going to have to use that organisation more, even though it's doing an excellent job, to assist farmers in terms of education and innovation. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Can I now call Senator Kieran O'Donnell? You have